I want to talk about historical authenticity and historical accuracy. Think of this as the ending part of that Cossack video I've made, because while thinking about how I would talk about it, I realized that in design, research is the most entertaining part of the entire process, so the best way for people to make games and books about Cossacks would be them researching and making their own conclusions about them. After all, I am a mask, not a reference book. Still, I have to talk about something, so might as well tackle a semi-controversial topic. For those that don't know or confuse these terms, historical accuracy is when you try to portray the period you're making your game in as true to the known history as possible, while historical authenticity is when you try to make the game feel true to the common stereotypes of the period. To make an example, imagine a game about World War II. A historically accurate game would incorporate the common plights of the period into the game as long as it doesn't harm the creator's vision, from propaganda of the times to the fact that American army was racially segregated and black people fought in different squads from white people, if fought at all. Though some might find certain themes to be downright controversial, a historically accurate game must never shy away from the realities of the period, for that is literally the reason why you are trying to make a historically accurate game in the first place. One advice though, when making such a game, it's best to stick to proven historical records and sources one can trace and not go into what official history considers to be a conspiracy theory, even if you personally think that to be true. Meanwhile, a historically authentic game can pretty much be whatever it wants as long as the common stereotypes are enforced. Nazis are evil, Americans are heroes, Soviets are a communist hive mind, etc. You can put women soldiers in there, black people working with white people, hell, Nazi zombies as well. It's pretty much a common stereotype they dabbled into a cult. All you have to do to keep the game authentic to the historical period is to make sure the uniforms are somewhat accurate and the items players use are true to the period. Done. No wonder a lot of games out there mostly stick to authenticity rather than accuracy. Now, how do Cossacks come into this, you might ask? Well, women can't be Zaporozhian Cossacks, Assassin's Creed, but they can be Don Cossacks. Terek and Cuban Cossacks are the Cossacks that look like Georgians and Chechens, but not Don and Zaporozhians. Russia doesn't have a monopoly on Cossacks. They also weren't all anti-Semitic. If you're gonna bother to add Cossacks into your game, at the very least put some effort into distinguishing types of them. Not only doing otherwise is disrespectful to them, but also you're doing a hack job in the authenticity part, which is why the most important aspect to a historical game, no matter what you want to do with it, is to do your research, even if it's brief. Try to find what their attire looked like. Have someone to tell you the barest basics on how to portray the exact type of Cossacks you want and go with it. Try not to put modern morality in a game about times past. I don't think it's that hard. Also, knowing and being able to distinguish a stereotypical Zaporozhian from a stereotypical Siberian Cossack can also help in diversifying your fantasy and sci-fi universes as well, because remember, Cossacks are a movement of armed freemen. They could be used literally anywhere and come from all sorts of places. Cossacks can also be a romanticized wandering hero figure or an evil angry man who kills babies in their sleep. All it takes is a little bit of effort and creativity, and that's pretty much it, really. A bit anticlimactic, but I said everything I wanted to say, and the current voice has health issues, so we try not to stain him too much. Tune in next time for whatever theme you'll vote in next.